Hello, everyone. This is if you're listening to this on Subspace Radio Network, iHeartRadio, Sci Fiction Radio, it's episode 61. On today's show, we're going to have an amazing guest. You may remember from previous episodes, my good pal, Vice Admiral of the Federation, Randolph Allen. Randolph Allen will be joining us here shortly. I think he's on the line right now. Let's bring him on and talk all the kind of sci fi goodness. Alan, can you see me? Randolph.
Hey, Owen, how's everything?
Doing good, man. How you been, man?
Oh, staying out of trouble until
Yeah,
Fan
trouble.
Expo
We're
shows
gonna
up.
Fan Expo goodness. Let's bring that up real quick. So, when is that for everybody? I think it's January 5th, right?
January 5th through 8th at
8th.
the Morial Convention Center in New Orleans.
Yes, indeed. And what kind of stuff's going on? You got the down low on that?
Well, got some down low on that. We know that we're going to be seeing William Frakes there. No, Jonathan Frakes there from
T. Riker.
Picard. Yeah,
right.
we're gonna get to see Mr. Riker. We're gonna see some Nika Queen Martin from Discovery. So we got two captains in this year.
Randy
So
Quaid's going to be there too. Looks like.
yeah, well, I hope. Well, if Randy Quaid becomes a Starship captain, I'll cheer him on.
That'd
But
be awesome.
the last time I saw Randy Quaid is when he killed some aliens in Independence Day.
But you got the roster here. We got the site up on the screen.
I
You
see
got
that. Yeah.
Peter Weller, RoboCop, Michael
Yep.
Biehn. That'd be a good one to talk to. You got Lance Hendrickson, all the cast of Terminator 2. You got
Terminator
Michelle
2.
Picard. Yep.
Well, we got Frank Welker and Peter Cullen from Transformers.
That's right. They're coming up here on animation voices. So you got there they are right there. Peter Cullen and Frank Welker. You also got all four original Ninja Turtles actors from the '90s. It's
Yeah.
a huge event.
Oh, it
They've
is.
got. It looks like this year they've got a podcast stage. I believe we're going to be doing some stuff on that. I believe our podcast stage. I'm working with a buddy on that. We're gonna do something on there. One of the I think the first night maybe 7 p.m. and then of course we're on a panel as well. Me, you, and Adam on I believe it's
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, we are. So that's going to be. I can't wait to do that one. That's going to be fun.
Sci-fi
So
goodness. Do you have anything you want to talk about the panel? I was going to kind of just go over all the general subcategories and sci-fi goodness. Just have a big discussion about it.
well, how about the big news I just heard from Bonnie Gordon from Prodigy saying that they got approved to be on Netflix for season 1 and 2 of Star Trek
Oh,
Prodigy.
there you go.
So that's been there's our saving throw there.
That's right. Have you heard of Rebel Moon? That thing that Zack Snyder's doing on Netflix? Oh man.
I'm going to look at it. I'm going to tell you. I mean, that's kind of what I'm there to do. It's look at it and go say, hey, because from what I'm told, that is a Zack Snyder Star Wars script that was not approved by the powers that be. So Zack Snyder said, well, let's do it. This
universe.
Yeah.
Man. That's awesome. Well, you got a lot of Star Trek stuff. They had the SAG strikes finally starting to die down a little bit. What do you want to see? Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I want to see that cliffhanger. What goes on after that,
I think that's going to be one of those things. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of rumors where the streaming services are taking hits, and they're trying to get everyone back to network.
Yeah.
Because financially speaking, they're just not making the money like they did during COVID.
Right. Raking in that cash, the galactic super credits.
Well, the thing is that it does take a lot of money to get things up there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the fandom can wait. We've done it before. We'll do it again. One of my guys pointed out to me on the USS New Orleans that we have a whole 50 years of Star Trek literature that people can pick up and read. Yeah, I mean books that were coming out from as early as the 70s. So we're doing some major, we have some major stuff going into play. People just need to know how to access it. So, and one of the best ways to do it is, and I will plug this. Plug your local library. You don't want to buy the book. Go get your
Right.
library card, get the apps. You can download it for free
Right.
and return it without a fine. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Can't beat that. There's a lot of
No,
good TNG books showing the TNG and a lot of the Captain Kirk era, kind of like motion picture
yeah,
era. There's also some stuff from Deep Space Nine, a little bit of everything in there. So.
right. And there's people who are looking forward to bringing that back. Um, what I would like to see out of the powers that be in regards to Trek is Simon and Schuster start doing writing contests
That
to
was
do
good, yeah.
story
That was
mythologies.
amazing. Yeah.
Take fanfic and publish it. Do the same thing with they can do it for all their Star Trek titles,
Yep.
even the new stuff. So people are the investment and the fandom can self perpetuate. That just makes it easier.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
But this new Battlestar Galactica that's in kind of play right now. If you're hearing some rumors on that, have you heard anything about that?
I've heard that it's supposed to be complementary to the Roger Moore stuff.
Right.
I'll
I
Roger
heard it
Moore.
was like AI, like it's all about lessons about AI and stuff like that, artificial
Yeah,
intelligence and all that.
yeah, and that's because we got AI in our real world narrative right now.
Right.
So, I mean, that is kind of something
Did you
that's
see
kind of
the digital AI head they made of me?
not yet, but
Oh, it's great. We did a
yeah,
Captain Kirk. Did you see the Captain Kirk AI head?
not yet.
No, we'll roll that here. Let's see if we can get that on the screen. We'll
All
get a
right,
little teaser of that. Let's see if we can get that on the screen. I'll see it. It'll be good. So we've been playing around with some of this AI stuff, and it's wild, man. Like we you have like the voice cloners and stuff like that, right?
all right.
So we can get this thing to work here. We'll bring this up on the screen. If everybody has seen this, enjoy it some more. For people that have not seen this, we did this for the Vegas event, and of course, SAG Strike was on, so we couldn't say anything about Star Trek. So they removed the video from the article, but it's still there on YouTube. So
Right.
it's too good. Here we go.
We've indeed found ourselves in a rather unexpected situation. Here we are, situated in one of
Put
Earth's
them in Las
prime
Vegas.
retirement destinations, Las
I can see
Vegas.
it.
Soon, this desert haven will be buzzing with Earth's inhabitants. They are not coming for gold or fortune, but rather for what they call the Star Trek convention.
That's right.
It's almost difficult to fathom, but it seems our future missions, the very core of Starfleet, are known to these individuals, and they don't just possess this knowledge. Spock, they cherish it, worship it even. It feels as though our future is laid out for everyone to scrutinize. Could it represent a violation of the prime directive we've yet to comprehend? And to think I presumed retirement would bring some much-needed tranquility and rest. It was
You got
rather illogical of
Spock
me, wasn't
sitting
it,
by
Spock?
with a glass
As
of
you command,
champagne
It is
up in the
indeed
Vegas
a curious
Tower.
anomaly.
Yeah,
I will conduct a thorough
It's so
analysis.
great. Pretty
that's
funny.
pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I've been seeing some recent online commercials using the AI.
Yeah.
Here, get the product, and then you see that frozen picture where they're doing that. Let's do this, and let me move my head around a little bit. It's like this, and we're going to talk about this medical product you need for your body part that you didn't know, but
Well,
now
what we
it's
did was
important.
we cloned their voices. We got archival voice patterns, and we cloned their voices. And we cloned the Spock looks a little cheesy because when we did the first one, it looked too real and flagged it as a celebrity. So we had to
Right.
just a little bit. But Kirk, man, is dead on. We had to get in that inflections like like the whole Shatner-esque. And that when we programmed it in, the second take when we adjusted the inflections, it just went full Shatner, man. I was like, solid
Yeah.
gold. We're
Yeah.
using that.
I think if you found Kevin Pollock and have Kevin Pollock
Oh,
do
yeah.
the voiceover, there we go. Then you have that.
So
The AI would just be a Kevin Pollock.
we did Michelle Barrett's voice too. But we're going to put the computer in there. And I'm like, man, that's just too much. So I'm going to keep it a little simple where they're having a discussion in Vegas together.
Well, that's going to be really great. But that's what they were supposed to do when CBS got the new shows ready. They saved Miguel Barrett's voice for
Archive.
and they archived the voice so they could use her computer voice. And Excuse me.
Yeah.
But what we ended up seeing was um, what we ended up seeing was them basically say Enterprise shut down, and say the computer's like,
Like
okay, shutting
Picard.
down. Yeah, and it sounded like they just picked up a recording from one of the shows as opposed to
Riker's like,
constructing
I
it.
always like that voice.
Yeah, I always like that one. It's like
That's
coming
great.
home. Now
Jordy's got him
I have
archived there
heard
in the
that
hot.
Paramount. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Uh, okay, I have heard that Paramount and or CBS has basically saved that bridge of the Enterprise D
I heard of
that they
this.
built
They
for
said
Picard.
archived or something like that. Archived the whole set.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
they built it from scratch. Built it in from scratch. You used the old plans,
Right.
brought in back the old team.
At the Akudas
Um,
and
Akudas were there. Drexler was there. I mean, Metallic. From what I've heard, Terry Metalis was one of the last writers for the Berman era, and so
the
you bring
Rick
back.
Burr.
Uh, well, yeah,
What about the Manicado era, man? He passed away. I was sad about that. He got Enterprise was kind of getting a good stride there for a little bit. That's
I,
what season 3
I
was.
I was just watching a small documentary about that, and they were all talking about how Enterprise was making the comeback through Kodo's leadership, and
Yeah,
but the powers above, the powers that be, had made a different decision and decided that Enterprise needed to be canceled um, because they weren't making money off of it and they didn't see that return on it. Whereas
right.
now we're close on 15,
Well,
20
yeah,
years
it's
later.
15, 16 now. It came aired in 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's, and that's one of the reasons why we got Discovery back and we got,
Stranger
you
Worlds.
know, Stranger Worlds. But at the same time, it's also what we're finding out now. There are discussions between the powers that be and Secret Hideout, which is the whole purpose of Secret Hideout's productions was to set up Star Trek for the future for Kurtzman,
Right.
and they're already talking about you know winding down the Trek, winding down the Star Trek shows a little bit.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm still hearing about a Section 31. I think it's now a movie. They didn't want to get rid of Michelle Yeoh because she made a really great character as the as Philippa. So we want her back, but in order to get her back,
They're doing like a miniseries right on that, right?
yeah, I think it's a miniseries. At the most, it was supposed to be a series, but I've heard everything from miniseries to movie.
It's like a 2-part mini
Depending,
movie or something.
it might be it might be a series of movies. You know, excuse me, but I
So
don't know if it's going to be in the vein.
is
You
it
know,
on Paramount? It'll be Paramount Plus, right?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. The future of I think they're talking about merging Paramount Plus with another streaming service right now
Mm,
because they don't want to deal with that anymore. They want to get out of the streaming business
right.
and have someone else handle it. So um, we could be talking about a merger with any number of companies. Netflix will gobble up the Netflix or Hulu would gobble up that sort of um, portfolio into their network. I mean, Hulu is run by Disney anyway.
Speaking of Hulu, I was listening to a piece of, I heard of the Inside of You podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, had Adrian Palacki on there recently. And
Right.
she basically put the nail in the coffin, more or less, on the podcast about the Orville, saying that it was just not going to happen. It wasn't feasible for the actors. It took too long to get the scripts. There's not as much money in it. And I don't think they're going to be doing a season 4, according to her. So
Well,
she said on
also,
Rosenbaum's podcast.
I read an article in that vein as well,
Mhm.
and that article said to the effect that the problem with the Orville was one, Seth MacFarlane is writing all the scripts,
Yeah.
or at least the vast majority of the scripts.
Consulting, developing them, right.
Right. So they don't go to production until the scripts are done.
Right.
The second thing is the actors who are contracted to do the show have to wait until the scripts are done. So
So
they're waiting
they're under
a year,
contract. Yeah.
right? And they're waiting a year.
Mhm.
There's like a year on and a year off
Before they can
of
do anything.
getting right.
Right.
So it's not so much that they're blaming. And then of course at this time we're also
Mhm.
talking about COVID
Mhm.
and social distancing and all that stuff. I mean, we're coming out of it. I mean, that's one of the things we're coming out of that sort of thing, and the insanity behind it. But the the thing is that it does affect how production works, and then on top of that, or we'll have to deal with SAG,
Yeah.
the SAG strike. All those actors on that show, those are
And the writer's strike
the
too.
vast majority of them are California based. I mean, that's what they tell you. They're out there in the thick of things trying to get their shows done, and they can't because they've got a strike that they have to participate in.
For sure.
You know, it's. I mean, let's not get wrong here. I think the strikes were necessary.
For sure.
Get some reality checks that, like for instance, actors who are contracted to do a show and can't do side work because
Their
you know
contract.
because of the contract, and the problem is that they could be making money elsewhere. You know, I think a few went to independent films, to do that. But and I live in New Orleans, and you know that we're a movie town as much as any other
Hollywood
town.
South down there.
Right. We don't have that issue with SAG here
Right.
because a lot of the production companies are contractors to the powers in LA or New York. They
I
come
know
here.
that like Mobile, Alabama, before the SAG strike and the writer's strike, it was like I may still be now back to it, but it was like a printing press, like for tax incentives, 20 to 30% on the dollar. So you
Right.
invest 100 grand, you make 30 grand back per 100K you invest. They actually have an
Mhm.
OLED wall down there that buddy of mine, his friend runs. That's the like same technology used for the background of the
Mhm.
Mandalorian stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's starting, and that industry is happening elsewhere. I know that here in New Orleans, when we talk about production, they all are focusing eyes on New Orleans East.
Right.
That's that area which was growing before Katrina and got
Hmm.
wiped out. Now they're
Yeah.
talking about redevelopment. Part of that
Hmm.
redevelopment is to get a New Orleans-based movie studio
Mm.
in that area to begin rebuilding the industry because that
When
industry.
are they planning on this? Like this year, next, or
I don't know when they're doing it as a timetable. I know that is part of a development project in the area.
Mhm.
Um, and they do give us timetables. I mean, anyone who wants to look for those timetables, they can check NOLA.com.
Okay.
But the reality of it is that we have developers who want to put in a water park because we're right
Okay.
there on a lake. We have
Well, Six
developers.
Flags been abandoned. They've been filming. Last time I heard down there that they were using that before the pandemic and all that. They did a Hugh Jackman movie. There was some time travel thing where he's like kind of the last one, he did a sci-fi one he did.
They've done a lot of B movies in that park.
Jurassic
Uh,
World. A lot of stuff uses like post-apocalyptic or used for the Jurassic World.
anything that you see on the Sci-Fi Channel in New Orleans is used as the base operations. 9 times out of 10, someone showed up with a pair of bolt cutters,
Right.
got through the fence, brought in the camera crews, and said,
We
"Look,
made a
guys,
Sci-Fi Channel original. Heck yeah,
right,
dude.
we're gonna make it a Sci-Fi Channel riddle, and we only got 24 hours to do it." So,
Sharknado 49.
good golly, I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea they could,
It's cool. It's
maybe,
clever. It's a fun little thing to watch. Yeah.
maybe that's what we should do. We should have a nice little theme park with a
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic theme. You know, that could also be used for a movie studio.
Apocalyptopark.com.
Yeah, there we go. Dystopia USA. There we go.
You have a Fallout themed ride where have you seen the Fallout trailer, by the way?
Oh, yes,
It looks good.
it does.
You
Accurate
see
to the game.
that one and Halo 2. Looks like it's
I'm
getting
looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing Halo 2. I really am. I liked the first series. I mean, I'm not a gamer, but the thing
looks
is
like
that
they're going
Halo.
for the reach kind of
Yeah,
with
they're
the
going to do battle research. That's what they said. I think they did a really good job with it. I mean, a lot of the actors I've seen, you know, most of it's voice work anyway because they're wearing the Spartan suits anyway.
yeah.
But
Looks dope
man,
too.
there is some plots there. There is some plotting there. That is just some good work there.
Yeah,
I'm
Cortana's in there. It's like in the game and all that jazz. And,
I'm looking forward to see if they start doing anything with the second season of Interview with a Vampire.
mm,
Now, I'm looking forward to that because that's going to be the stat story.
mm.
Um, or they'll do something and move on to Queen of the Damned or something like that.
One of the things
Uh,
I'm looking forward to is Dune Part 2, man.
oh yeah,
Looks sick. You got every sci-fi actor in there: Dave Bautista, Matt Smith, and they have
yeah.
what is it? Christopher Walken's playing the Shaddam, the fourth emperor of the known galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Man, we're gonna have some. That's a big one that's gonna roll out.
You've got
Um,
what's March's Ghostbusters Frozen Empire too, I believe.
yep. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm destined to see it soon. The latest Godzilla film.
Oh yeah, then when they team up. Are you talking about the last one or this one coming? There's a new one. They just
The
dropped
new
the
one, Godzilla
trailer.
minus one.
Yeah.
Godzilla minus one. I have been told by friends it is in the vein
Mhm.
of the original ones in the 1950s.
Oh wow.
So it is. I mean, I want you to think about this. It's. I think my friend said it's in subtitles right now. So if
Oh
you're
wow.
going there, you're going to be reading the movie as much as watching it. Um,
Marlene says hi. Great topics. Yeah,
yeah, there's Marlene for us. Thanks, Marlene.
that's right. Thank you so much. We got Fan Expo coming up. What kind of things you looking for down there? Any of the other things you're gonna be doing down there? You want to be with Federation, of course.
I'm be doing the Federation. Um, I'm talking about doing some other thing, another project that I can't really talk about it right at this moment in time, um, but we're looking at trying to starting to do some things that are local to the area. I've already talked to just let you know. I kind of whispered into Adam's ear, like, "Hey, Adam, I got this idea about doing the thing.
The
Would you be
thing.
interested in doing the thing?" And he went, "Yeah, hell yeah." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll get you the stuff for the thing." And so, I mean,
the
I'm putting together. I'm
thing.
putting, yeah, the thing. Yes,
That's a great movie with Russell, man. Amazing movie. Stephen
it
and
is. It is.
Carpenter.
All of them. You know, you got the one that James Arness was in.
Yep.
He was the thing. So, and then you
We're
got
over at
yeah.
Comic Con. We met the lady that did directed They or whether They Live with John Carpenter. Good stuff.
Right.
She was there, and he had he has a publishing company now, which is like sci-fi novels and graphic novels.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. We need to see more of those guys down
Mhm.
at these conventions we go to.
For sure.
I mean,
But they get to be John Carpenter when everybody else does.
well, John Carpenter can come in and talk about movies all he wants
That's
and show
awesome.
up in a big old booth of books, and I guarantee you,
Oh
people
man,
will be buying his stuff.
he's got some great product too, man. Some of the books I was looking at were like all of them. He has other authors, just multiple authors. Just one guy there that was authoring with his company had like kind of like he had like more like a young adult novel, graphic novel, and the other one was like a sci-fi, kind of an
Right.
homage to like the old days of sci-fi, and they had some other ones and a little bit of everything. It was real nice. They literally when you bought a book, like or got a book rather, they signed every person signed it. So the
Yeah.
author, the writer, the artist, it was sick. So I brought it back to get my other because the other guy went there and I got all these signatures. And it was dope.
Right.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
pretty
it is pretty cool. I mean, that's one of the things that, like I said, I wish something like Fan Expo would bring.
Yeah.
They do bring in authors, but they don't bring in publishers who would bring in authors. You
Right.
know, I mean, good golly, I mean, just at the show we go to in New Orleans, that's what,
Mm-hmm.
35,000.
About 35, 40 in a good year.
Yeah, so I
Their
love
biggest
the
show
fact that
I think in New Orleans was when they had Chris Evans there and some of the Avengers back, and man, it was with the old Wizard World banner back. That was like 40 or 50,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean when they get a good when they get a good hook in for that side of things,
Mm,
if you turn around and say, hey, look, we're bringing in publishers,
right.
um, you know, Simon and Schuster. If anything, let's go back to Trek. And Simon and Schuster
Right.
is where you go for Trek.
Yeah.
If you want to get another, you want to get Disney books sold, contact Disney Publishing.
Yep.
Because they'll do all the Star Wars and any other young adult novels that they want to put out.
Yep.
You know,
You
this
got
is the
like
show for it.
Ray, Tor, Simon and Schuster, Random House. There's a lot of big publishers. Like if you go to Comic Con out in STCC, you'll see every single, including comic books, of course, DC, Marvel,
Right,
IDW, Dynamite, Heavy Metal was there. I mean, it was just sick,
right.
man.
I mean, yeah. I
Our
mean,
buddy,
it's one of
yeah, go ahead.
it's a trade. It's a trade show first and foremost. I mean, people look at it and go, well, this is really big about being in costume and cosplay because that's what the fans are showing
Right.
as the pre. I mean, you don't really see a professional commercial about these shows. You see the fans do it, and
Fans,
it's a
yeah.
retroactive commercial. It's like you see a great music video with all these cosplays at a hotel that's doing the event, like San Diego Comic Con,
Mhm.
and they'll do it at the convention center, and that's what they think it's all about because
Yeah.
they
It's
see
much
just
more
that
than
music.
that. Much more
Right.
than that. Right.
But the thing is that um, what we've done as a fandom
Mm.
is we've forgotten that literature was our go-to
Sure.
fallback when we didn't have a
Television,
streaming
movies,
service.
cinema. Right.
Right. I mean, I watch a production company called Bat in the Sun.
Oh man,
And,
those guys are
yeah,
great.
right. And it's professional quality work. They're doing their own version of Batman. They are doing, and
This is Darth Vader. Yes,
that was one of
yes.
the, yeah. But they've done more and more stuff ever since. And, it's just a little bit of creative cinematography, some
Mhm.
practical effects, and a green screen for a lot of their stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
And this is like, I think it's like two brothers are behind it and a
Mhm.
small cadre of actors that they pull from. Some of them are cosplayers. You
Mhm.
recognize them from their cosplaying stints.
Right.
And, it's they're doing something that they love. I think
Right.
their last production was with Jason Franks, and it was a Power Rangers clone, which I want to
That's
watch because
fantastic. Yeah.
right. So I would, as much as I love promoting my big studios, and
Mhm.
Trek and Star Wars and the latest Doctor Who,
Mhm.
yay. Um,
Man, did you see the
we've got
David Tennant part one? I haven't got to see it yet. Is it good?
I've seen all three now.
Nice.
I saw the one with Neil Patrick Harris, and that was the latest one.
Right.
That's so. Just to let you know, there's already spoilers out on it, but not bad, not bad because what it's doing is it's leading up to the Christmas special,
Right.
and they're introducing that's where they're going to showcase the new
Mhm.
Doctor. But
Yeah.
it's a
They had
it's
some of the props and costumes at Comic Con on display for that. It was pretty dope too.
yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what fans are wanting to see.
Yeah.
I would love, and I love and that's where I go back and I harp on the literature and the hundreds of fan productions out there,
Yeah.
because these are guys who are showing, they're not trying to make money, they're
Right.
just showing off their fandom, and they want the big studios to see it. They want that affirmation, you
Right.
know, and the way these bigger guys can handle it, in my opinion, and I'll leave it with there, is that they should do contests, and that anything, and part of the contest is if we like it and we put it on our streaming channel, we'll make it part of our canon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is just the way we're flowing with that. Is it becomes part of our. You're helping to create our mythos
Right.
and so forth. I mean, a lot of guys who are doing it are just doing it for gratification. You
Sure.
know, and we should get behind them
Mm-hmm.
and help them get those out there as much as we can, as much as we like to talk about our shows.
For
So
sure.
sorry I'm
So
still boxing here, but yeah.
it's all good. The Fan Expo is coming up January 5th through the 7th, 2024 at the Ernst in Memorial Convention Center downtown in the riverfront
Right.
in Louisiana. What other events you going to be anything after that or before that, before or after that?
Well, we're looking at setting up a teams to go to both uh, CoastCon and Sci-fi.
Okay.
So CoastCon is in Biloxi,
Mm-hmm.
Sci-fi is in Lake Charles. Um, these are two fan-run cons that we have been
Yeah.
part of since the beginning, and
They're a lot of fun too. They're very fun.
they are. They're not the trade shows. Let's clarify. Sci-fi is more of a trade show, like the big box cons, but
Yeah.
they've got a strong fan element.
Yeah.
So that's why I will push them all day.
Right.
I'm also pushing CoastCon for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
They are more fan oriented. In other words, you're going to see a lot of um, programming that
Mm-hmm.
are interactive. They'll have their own list of
Gaming, video gaming, and
some video gaming, some old fashioned tabletop role play games.
yep.
I believe that usually at CoastCon, the Star Trek the Starfleet chapter, USS Neptune throws together an Artemis Bridge simulator, so you
Yep.
can
Super cool.
yeah, and you get to sit down there and you get to be part of a starship crew and do something, and go on a mission and so forth. So that's one of the biggest things we like to do down there.
Star Wars stuff going on with Star Wars. Anything you're looking forward with that? Any of the things? I think Skeleton Crew's kind of going to be popping up here sometime.
I think, I heard that they've been delayed again. So,
Yeah.
but
Oh wow.
I'm looking forward to Skeleton Crew. I'm looking forward to Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding with Acolyte is that it's going to be in the High Republic.
Okay.
So it's going to be 200 years before A New Hope. We have Ahsoka season 2, which is being greenlit. Like we knew it wasn't going to be greenlit.
Right.
I know that they're talking about season 4 of The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
So there are rumors that Pedro Pascal will not be part of the cast, except maybe for voiceover work.
Right.
Because they've already got
Fantastic
they
Four,
got two other guys to do it. Yeah, they got 2 other guys that could do the suit work. So as long as
bubbles or like some, he's not even going to be in the suit. It'd be somebody else. He just do the voice.
he's just. My understanding is this: he's already got the voice for it, but now keep in mind these are rumors. They're not. I have nothing to substantiate this with. Okay, I'm being. I want to disclaim that before people go, "Oh my god, I saw this on sci-fiction." And, no, these are rumors.
Right.
I'm reading them off of the rumor rags and quoting them there.
My goodness.
Right. So part of the rumors is that Pedro Pascal isn't going to return to wear the suits because of his schedule. But they've already got 2 other actors wearing the suit. So that's and I think I'm trying to figure out if one of the actors is related to a celebrity, a big name celebrity. I have to go dig it up. So, and then it looks like they may, because they got Katie Sackhoff back.
Right.
It may be that the Mandalorian will be more centralized around her anyway. I'm not.
She's going to be at Fan Expo, right? She'll be at Fan Expo, I believe, right?
Yes, she is. Actually, that's a big thing. Yeah. We can. You can ask her that. You got the mic. You get the mic.
Are you going to be in the Mandalorian season 4?
Yeah, she'll probably say yes to that. She's like, "Are you going to be the central star?"
Right. Got the NDA. Oh, they got like agents and NDA people come up with from Lucasfilm and Disney Plus, and you got a voice FaceTime from Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni. But
Yeah.
can I let them know?
Well, I think the biggest news in Star Wars
Yeah,
news is the fact that Dave Filoni got his job
that's
as
amazing. That's a solid gold pick, man. He's like George Lucas's protege. Of course, he should be there, man.
right, and that pretty much puts Kathleen Kennedy and I think was it Favreau,
Favreau, yeah.
um, on a different tier. Now, keep in mind, I would love to see John Favreau continue on,
Oh, yeah.
and I think Favreau is probably part of that creative team as
Yeah.
well. I mean, we had Bryce Dallas Howard doing some
Mm-hmm.
directing in that. You know,
Taika Waititi was in there. He was doing some as well.
Mhm.
He voiced
and
IG
IG, I think 99 or something
something
like that.
90 something 11. I think it was something.
It doesn't matter. It keeps getting blown up anyway. Um,
Yeah. Spoiler alert. People haven't seen it already.
no, we haven't seen that part. He's
Something.
season 3. He did okay. He did
Yeah.
just fine.
Was the part when
Um,
Yoda was like riding him like Master Blaster and like inside of him like a little mech suit?
yeah, little Grogu.
Logo, right?
Grogu had his little mech suit.
Little mech suit.
I
That's
thought
right.
I thought it was a great idea.
It was
Grogu had
awesome.
wheels. Grogu had wheels and guns
That's right.
and the
Awesome.
Force.
So like, it's kind of reminds me
Um,
of Krang from Ninja Turtles. Something like he's got inside of him. He's got the like, laser arms, the cannons, and all shit.
oh my god.
Pretty stuff. They got the Star Wars universe, Star Trek universe, Battlestar universe. Any other universes you're looking forward to? Anything on the horizon?
Well,
It could be late.
I'm going to look forward to the 15th Doctor.
Okay.
I think that we needed to. I think Russell T Davies, just by watching the specials, Russell T Davies put put an injection back into the Who fandom.
For sure.
I mean, he deliberately went back and brought Tennant and Tate.
Very
A very
smart. Man.
good
I love
team.
that. That was amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, between Tennant, who's a fantabulous actor, Catherine Tate, who is a writer and a comedian and a star in her own right, and on top of that, Russell T Davies, who was, as far as I can remember, was part of the the original Doctor Who
Right.
team
He's
back
like one of the
when.
OGs.
Right. So I really am wanting to see where that goes next with the new guy.
He looks great from what little I've seen, though. I haven't seen him in action yet.
Well, let's see. When they brought in Eccleston, Eccleston used well, as they call it, a northern accent.
Right.
And then of course Eccleston 9 responds with our favorite line there. Well, lots of places have a north.
Right.
But as you looking at the other guys that went through it, David Tennant was a Scotsman who anglified his dialect a little bit.
For sure.
Matt Smith is from England.
Peter
Peter Capaldi is another Scotsman who decided not to get rid of his Scottish accent.
Paul McGon, man, he was great. I wish I could have seen him in a season or two. They did that little short episode though. Remember?
Oh yes.
Yeah, he's the one in the TV movie or whatever.
There is a rumor out there that they want to, and it's a Russell T Davies rumor that they don't think the Eighth Doctor got enough exposure. I mean,
he's great.
We've seen him only in the movie from Fox.
Yeah,
I look at that badly. It's not the best showing of the Doctor.
90's good in this thing.
But it is the Eighth, and I want to understand. I like Paul McGann as the Doctor.
Eric Roberts was master.
Yeah, but I like Paul McGann as the Doctor. And they brought him in for that. He's doing, he's doing Night of the Doctor.
Yep.
That was the name of the short, Night of the Doctor.
Night of Doctor.
But then they point out that he's done some work as the Eighth Doctor for Big Fish. So there's a lot of audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even though we're talking about Big Fish, now they're talking back in the whisper, the ivory tower that is the BBC. Maybe we should do a Paul McGann series.
They should.
Totally cool. Right. It doesn't have to be a long series, and the British are known for not, or that's one of the reasons why the BBC has great storytelling, is that they do not tend to overdo it. They tell you
we're going movie or something. That'd be cool.
Well, the specials are great.
Yeah.
The specials are a great way to tell the stories. I mean, I really am not kidding. When the British, especially when you're going into the quality of the BBC, and they want to do something, they give it top-notch quality work. Heck, we talk about Dune, but everyone doesn't realize that BBC put out Dune in the 90s. And I will tell you two things about that Dune. It was crap special effects, and it was great storytelling because the characters, and then they didn't just do Dune. They did Dune, Messiah, and Children of Dune.
Right.
They did a trilogy, which I know that's what they're trying to do with the current movie.
True.
But already the movie's deviated further than the previous film works of Dune to begin with.
Right.
So it's not that it's in a bad way, because Dune is if people read Dune the novel and the series, it's a complex book. It really does not translate well to movie.
Brian Herbert's done a whole bunch of side books as well. It's a whole mythos.
Well, he took his dad's notes and did the same thing that Chris Tolkien did when he got his father's works. He expanded upon them and published it. So Brian Herbert has got a mess of stuff out there that's just filler for the Dune universe, but doesn't hardly touch, as far as I'm concerned, anything that Frank did. So Frank Herbert did all the work from Dune to Chapter House Dune, and then and then Ryan followed up with the Butlerian Jihad, and House Corino, House Atreides, House of Cronin. He wanted to put some add a little bit of flesh to those stories that we kind of stepped in the middle of two in Frank Herbert's Dune. So that's a wide series of books there. It's the same thing that Chris Tolkien did with his father's work. That's where we get the Silmarillion from. There is people don't realize this. 12 books with J.R.R. Tolkien's name on it because of Chris Tolkien finding Dad's notes, doing what he can to flesh them out, and publishing them, and basically saying these are notes. They're not the hardcore fiction, and that's where Rings of Power got their background material. Though I've heard the critics say, "Well, this isn't J.R.R. Tolkien or Chris Tolkien," and I've gone and said, but they're putting it out there. They're putting it out there, man. Okay.
It's like $1 billion on that thing too, I believe, for Netflix.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I've got to go back because they're starting the second season of Wheel of Time, and that's the same issue. No one, in comparison to the books, it's terrible. But when you don't have, I don't want to sit down there and read the epic of Wheel of Time, because Wheel of Time, each book is like 600 to 800 pages, and that's the short ones. That takes a little bit of time to read and commitment, which I would wish I had, but I don't.
But what I do, For All Mankind season 4 and binging that Monarch Legacy of the Monsters for Godzilla on Apple TV. It's pretty dope show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of that. because it's new work. It's going to be new work.
Mhm.
It's going to be pulling from source material.
Yep.
The problem is how I think they're coming out with season 2 of The Foundation as
Mm-hmm.
well on Apple TV,
Isaac
and that
Asimov's.
yeah, and the thing is, and once again, Foundation stuff doesn't translate well to screen, but
Yeah.
the story that they're putting out there
Yep.
is a good story. I love watching it
It's
because
amazing.
I'm not watching an Asimov novel come to life. I am
Right.
watching a person's um, best interpretation
For sure.
of that and being turned into something. I mean, let's face it. When we are trying to watch something like Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I want you to understand, Russ Benkin did animated version of this, which wasn't
70s.
exactly it. Yeah, but when you see the films, you see the hundreds of thousands of orcs and or the Orcais, the Easterlings and the dragons, the Balrogs, and then realizing how this all comes from two earlier ages. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I was pointing out the other day about uh, the tree of Gondor, how
Yep.
that tree came from Numenor, or the saplings did, and
Right. Or
that
the Lizard Siege. Yeah.
right. But what people don't realize is that Numenor's tree came from the lands further west, where the
Mm-hmm.
Valar are and
Yep.
the Elves are.
You don't
So in other
realize
words,
that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
tree is from a part of the world that no one can access unless you're dead.
Right.
So it sits there at Gondor. This white tree of Gondor
Mm-hmm.
is basically the closest thing to what Tolkien would have considered a holy symbol for people to rally behind.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of depth there to those works,
Yeah.
and
We're wrapping up. Wrapping up right quick. Go ahead.
okay. So I was finished.
Oh, I was just saying, wrapping up quick. I want to get a word in on the Federation. How do people donate, and where do they go? And what's some of the stuff y'all working on right now?
Okay, well, um, we are wrapping up for the hurricane season. We didn't. Let's put it this way: we were lucky. We only had the one storm that hit us. Actually, the two. I think I forgot about. I forget about Hillary. Uh,
Hillary.
but it's
We're
not
Italian.
every day you see a hurricane hit California. I mean, what can you tell you?
That was wild. I have
We,
some buddies out there
yeah,
that couldn't even believe that.
yes. Well, I mean, that was. I mean, they're blaming it on El Nino, but just the best thing is that we didn't create any real super donation. We didn't create any super focused programs this year
Right.
because the issue of the disaster relief is ongoing.
Mm.
We do have, if people want to donate money to our hurricane relief efforts, they can donate to that link there. I mean, you got to write under my name there. See, I put down to the screen. Yeah.
Correct. Federation.com/donate, everybody.
Right. And when you go there, there's a series of programs that we have available. If there's not a program there and you think we need attention, you can
Mhm.
message us and we will set one up. Um,
Okay.
that makes it easier. But the reality is that there's always hurricanes. I mean, let's take a look. We're probably going to, if you've got a couple of bucks,
Mhm.
there's people in Tennessee right now and in New England who are dealing with outbreaks and tornadoes. I mean,
That's
tonight,
terrible stuff.
now, happening.
Yeah.
You know, um, it's a fund that we want to keep going and so forth. I can tell you that in May, we're going to do a nice push drive using give NOLA Day as our forefront. So I will talk about that in future discussions. But
Mhm.
anything that you donate to the Federation, we have options of what you're donating for. Some of it goes to our expenses, and some of it will go
Mhm.
to the cause that we have up there. When you see the link to a cause, it's 100% goes to the cause. It's not going to
Awesome.
pay a paycheck or administrative costs. I mean, let's face it. Our idea of an administration is people who work the store up in Sandusky, Ohio, and
Yeah.
they run a it's a gift shop. It's a Star Trek shop. It's a place where you can join the Federation. It excuse me. It's our brick and mortar
Mhm.
location. But
Yeah.
any disasters happen anytime anywhere. Um, if you want to get involved with our donating, I suggest just either join or create a Federation chapter. Um,
Very cool.
if you need help, our team is there to answer all your questions. You know, because it helps us when we have people in an area where they live to get
Mhm.
us out there. Just say, hey, we're fans. We are concerned about our well being of people. And the best way to do it is, be boots on the ground in your town. If you are,
For sure.
older or infirmed, or you feel that you cannot physically do the type of volunteer work that you think, this is what the sort of
Mhm.
club is about. It's it's not that we want people who are physically capable, but if you're not financially capable, is helpful. We're not asking a whole lot. We're asking what, $5 at the most. You
Right.
know, I don't know, and the thing is, we know that money's tight too. So,
Right.
but yeah, I would
Well, for
love
people
to.
who want to donate, check out trekfederation.com/donate on the live stream. Randolph, I
Yep.
wanted to thank you. We're running a little short on time. I want to thank you for joining us on this broadcast. This episode 61. If you're listening to Subspace Radio Network on iHeartRadio, Sci Fiction Radio, Randolph, always a pleasure. We'll see you at Fan Expo, man.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Peace, man. Live
Have a good
long
night.
and prosper always. You too, man.